Okay, now, and you're kind of orangish. Let me see what the ISO is. No, the white balance. Yes, outdoors. Let's put you indoors. See, white balance is your film you sent with General Powell on the front. It was a nice film, but you have more people shooting, half of them didn't know what they're doing. He should not have been, he wasn't white balanced, so he was orange as the wall back there. I met General, he's a light-skinned brother. Okay, he was not an orange brother. When you show this to a professional person, they know right off the bat.
There wasn't
you don't
white
have people
balance.
white balance, so you don't know what you're doing. See, these are the things I'm trying to help
Right,
you with. So
right.
you
I
don't
know,
go to these
I
people
know some of the
for some of
terminology.
it, but Halle Berry was excellent. I could tell there was different people shooting. Okay, but anyway, let me do this right quick. They have all these white balances, and you can set them for certain things and save them. So say like you said, I'm doing arena, or I'm doing this. You can go in there and set the white balance, save it, and when you get to that thing, just come that white balance is right on thing.
Okay.
Or your door right there. Look at this screen. You see your door right there?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go on one of these white balances. I'm gonna do number one. It says select white balance. You gotta come on my shoulder. Come here. Let me go back. Go back. Here's your little go back arrow.
Okay.
See that?
Right.
So here's your white balance. Select white balance. And I'm gonna use that white door. Okay? Click. See how it changed and thing got white. The door is white. The browns, the whatever. So we got that set. Now go sit back on it. I'm gonna do it the way I normally do it, but I'm gonna put it back on automatic. Find out why it didn't play. Okay, here we go. We got you on here. I'm gonna shoot you this way.
Right, right. Get out of the light.
Yeah. And then just press. I got this set up. If we were shooting a person shooting you, let me interview you, Kevin. How are you doing today?
I'm great.
Who
Fantastic.
are you? What you do?
I'm a teacher and a learner at the same time.
Okay. It's at 15 seconds. See, so normally I record that. You click this. It's back. See, the arrow comes on the front. See that arrow?
Right. Mhm.
Or, you know, then you hit the record arrow.
For playback, yeah, okay. Okay.
And s-
Uh-oh, what?
okay. I mean, and I'm saying this is a learning process. You can put this, I don't know, let me go back to automatic. Because that's what the arrow didn't come up on automatic. I don't, maybe I didn't press, see what happened. All these buttons you program. On my camera, this records. I have this to play it back so I don't have to go over and hit this. I can sit there and you can look at me and I just hit and it plays back. Because you can
Right.
change
So
all
an
these.
automatic, so that button basically is useless because it's starting to record when you hit.
No, I probably didn't hit it.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't hit my button, it's the picture, because I don't take pictures. Now here, let me do one thing. While we're sitting there, you're such a handsome young man. I'm going to take a picture of you. Okay. It does not have a built-in flash. Okay? You gotta get you a flash. Because professional cameras don't have built-in flashes. Only cameras that don't are not have built-in flash. I'm gonna do this and take a picture. I'm gonna show you the light is coming from you this way. Here's a picture, and this just what I'm seeing.
What's a compatible? Okay.
See, your back is turned to God.
Right. So.
Now, if you stood right here, stand up right here. Your face, God. There you go. There you go. I'm gonna take the same picture. God, look at that. Look at me. Smile. Smile for truth. Okay? Now look at this. This is something to learn that people don't learn. Look at that. Look at you.
Oh man, okay, night
See,
and
and
day.
that's what I'm saying.
Night and
All
day.
this you ain't gonna get this on this. You
Let
ain't
me
gonna
turn that
remember.
back around. Let me see the capture of that. Okay.
Okay, and that's taking a picture. And
Can you show me the washed out one when I was sitting here?
Yeah,
The photograph.
and the way you go with them, just rotate the dial. Wait, there you go. That's not washed out. It's just don't
Well,
have
it's just
enough light.
yeah, right. It's just dark.
And so on here, testing this, I have you. This is my office, and I'm going to show you something else before I leave here. You see how great that is? When you're shooting for Netflix, Prime, anything major, um, History Channel, you got to shoot in vlog or log. Log is turns the whole thing looking great.
Why is that?
Because it's dynamic range. It catches all the shadows and everything. Where your camera here has an 8-step dynamic range. So if you point it over here, it look nice on that phone, but the blacks, you won't be able to see all the keys on that damn thing. You shoot log, I can read every key on that.
Mm.
Then you color it, and they make this thing called a lookup table, a LUT. You go into Photoshop, you color a picture of this, so just what you wanted, save it as a LUT, drop it on your film, and look just like the picture.
Wow.
So guess what? Log, and they got a lot of free ones. Panasonic make them. This is Panasonic.
Yeah, I think I've seen that effect.
You can see it on those videos on YouTube.
Right.
Yeah,
And I've
sure.
actually seen people on Facebook that have, the lug, the black, but then they've colored in their lips or something like that, and their lips are
Now,
red.
this is even different. The whole screen. But see, this is how a LUT looks. Now you have to pay to get log on the. See, now this
Wait,
shit-
wait a minute. Wait. You have to
can't-
pay to
yeah,
do.
to get the log on your computer. It don't come with that. And they got C log. They got C log is for Canon. S log is for Sony. Everybody shooting log. It ain't free. Now you just happen to get it because I have it on the camera already. All my cameras have log because I use different cameras and they got to match up. So I go get this one Leming LUT, but you can get a Panasonic LUT. You drop it, just blow your mind how beautiful the footage look.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just showing you this because I'm showing you what was showing you in my room. So then I went outdoors before I drove here and just sat on the back of my car and I put this little lens. I didn't have a lens on it. I stuck it on it before I got here because I found it in a bag. I said, oh, I'll give this to Kevin too.
Wow.
And you see how good that looks?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't
That's
do
not
nothing.
4K though, right?
Everything in here, 4K, 6K, 8K, anamorphic.
Wait a minute. So that camera can actually, if you
Look,
If you
that's
wanna use
another
up the-
whole story. Just
well,
Step
let
on.
me, because if I wanted to shoot in 8K, I would just use up more of the memory on the cards, the SD cards, right?
Oh well, that don't have no
What would use up the memory?
on the speed of what you're shooting.
Okay.
And I'm gonna show you that in a minute. See, you
Okay.
going? I'm telling you, 2 years to learn this. You ain't gonna learn all this in 2
No.
years. Okay, but I'm just showing you. I just went outdoors. Set this on standard because this is set on standard color. Right now, it's 28 different colors you can make on it. Not filters, just how you want the blue, the red. 28 different ones that you could apply to each whatever scene. This is why they have to sit down and see what you want it to look like when you were doing the stage scene. What do you want to do this? And then when you go into it, I'm going to show you, each one has a whole list of colors that you change and hues and stuff
Wow,
for
okay.
each scene. That's what I'm seeing, what you're doing. You just need to know where it's at and say, okay, we'll left this. Let me go on YouTube and say, hi, you. That's why I sent you that. And you get the camera and start doing and pointing it outdoors and say, yeah, nay, so at least you know a little bit how this worked because it took, I'm serious.
28.
I'm going to show it to you.
Okay.
That's my point. I said, this, you're going to confuse them with this. You just need to be able to take notes. Good. Okay. So this was what I shot today. And all of this is on the chip. And I got one of those little things I take the chip and plug in, but you can plug the camera in there. I don't plug my cameras into the computer. Okay?
But you can though. You
Mhm.
could plug this into your laptop or your
Yeah,
desktop or whatever.
yeah.
What do you have the cable with that?
I think I do. Because I've never used one. I think I do. I had to figure out where you plug it in at. Oh, it's over here. So, what makes this camera unique? Here's your microphone, your headphones. They gave you a full HDMI cable, and I brought you one. So they don't use the, and then I brought you adapter. I brought you an adapter for those little mini
Mini HDMI. Okay.
that you plug a full one, but this use full.
Full. Good,
Okay.
good.
Here's where you plug it in, and you use the new plug-in. Okay. Now, on here, so these, you see a C1, C2, C3 on the top. Right there, those right there.
Okay.
Those are custom dials. There's really like, I think it's 10 in here or 6. We'll go into C3 and then I'll list the rest of them. What you do is set the camera up exactly with all these, once you learn all this shit you gotta learn, you say this is for outdoors. You set it up and go to C1 and it'll say that for C1. Oh, this is for in the auditorium. I know how, because that's different lighting. And the reason I shoot flowers and shit every day, because God changes the light every day. So every day is different. And I shoot every day. See, I went out, I just do it every day. Because he changes it. It ain't the same. Ain't nothing you can set, but you set it close, and then you can adjust it when you get ready. So this is auditorium. So
Okay.
you say C2. These are portraits, C3, and you set the camera up. So now when you're shooting and you come to portrait, what do? You don't have to go through those all these dials I'm gonna show you. You just turn it to C1, C2, because it's already set up in the camera. So when you learn how all this shit to set this up, it's almost 2-3 days for each one of them. You say, and there's not. This is only on the top. When we go into C3, let's go in here. Turn this on. See, that's what I'm saying. This only gonna confuse
Yeah,
them.
well, yeah,
No,
but
it really will though.
well, it just gives
So-
them some point of reference.
So
we have to do
we're
a
on
real
C3.
workshop.
See, so I went to C3.
Mhm.
So you have custom C3. That's one. So I have this set up on standard, HD, 60p. Everybody kind of like to shoot 60p, 4x3, which is open gate, manual focus, whatever. It's like on a photograph. This is for photographics on a P. Okay. Now we're gonna go out of this, go back, and we'll go to C2. See, let's go to C2. What's that? See, it's the same thing, because these were custom built from the factory. So you go into, now watch this. Let's go to C1. No, let's go back to where I had it. I got this set as standard. Well, no, this is on automatic. I didn't want automatic. Let's go back. Okay, here we go. Standard. And this is how you set these up. That's standard, no flash. This right here, you can set these on the screen so it'll go away. And you turn these off and on. This is a waveform. That's the only way you color your, when you're a professional, they have all these charts up there.
Mhm.
They built it in the camera. So you can look at the waveform. See, watch this. Y'all turning this around. See how it's looking at different light? It's telling you how much light is there. And they have a dial for broadcast. It has to be so many IREs, so many this. You gotta know all this.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just trying to say this is no little joke. This is gonna be a real deal. But once you learn this, every cinema camera uses the same format. Whether it's a Red, a Alexa, a Aries, all of them do the same thing. So I said, oh, this would be a good walk around, hand around, go in the backyard, do what you got to do, so you get to know what these kids need to know. You see what I'm trying to say? And it ain't gonna be an easy task. And you got your mom to worry about. You're trying to build this thing, but you got to understand there's gonna be things that you're trying to do, and it just ain't gonna look right. And this is what a director does. All a director does is solve problems. When they run over there and say, Kevin, this ain't looking right on the screen. You gotta look at the screen and say, oh, change that to this, and that. Keep going.
Okay.
That's why you got to know, and it's a lot to know. And wait till we get to Big Boy. So guess what? This is ASPC cinema. Don't worry about that yet. Let's not confuse them, because this is gonna be the meat horse. Because this is only HD.
Okay.
This is 4K, 6K. So let's go back over here right quick. How we can set this up. So we go in here, and here's your screen. This is the movie screen. It's on manual make. You got variable frames, but this all works on, there's two screens here on what you set this up at. Let me see if it's on this one. No, it's right here. So here we got recording. I got MOV. You can do MOV, MP4. You could do ABC. You'll see. We'll go in here. Let's see what the formats are. Let's go back here. MOV. Here's all the different recording formats you can use. Okay? They prefer you to either use MP4 or MOV.
Okay.
If you use any of these other ones, all the stuff don't show up that you can do with the camera.
Right. Yeah, most of the software really prefers MP4
Yeah,
because, you know,
Mac.
Mac or but if you're using using Mac, it's .mov. That's the default, I guess.
Yeah. So here's your recording qualities right there, and we have 4 pages on this for just for MOV. Each one of those have different things.
Different ones. Yeah.
Now look at this. What's the top one? Now I just read this. I just sent it. That
98p 4096 by 2160.
So when you sending something to Netflix broadcast, you have to shoot 400 megapixels per second, and it has to be 422 color, 10-bit, and they want you to use all I Kodak to compress it, unless it's RAW. Unless it's ProRes. And this one can't be, because the processor can't go up anymore. But you buy a little, you see them with the little monitor.
So where do you go to get the standards for what a studio?
I got them.
Okay.
I was gonna send them to you, but see.
Okay, no, I can wait.
Yeah,
but I think it's a good thing for people to kind of get an understanding of how to customize or get the precision of what you need to shoot.
I emailed it to my whole team. I went for. We have an inroad because Bobby set on the PBS SoCal board.
Okay.
So we have an inroad there, okay? So we had a friend of ours that I used to do all their Black History stuff for PBS. They never paid me, but I did it. And he moved up to up north, somewhere up there north of Las Vegas. He has his own station, so he knew we did this down. He said, well, give me a PBS, and I already know because I've done the stuff for PBS. 26 minutes, 27 seconds is the most you can do, blah, 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 for a short documentary. And he said, well, I'll just air it. But so I got the standards. I went and did it last night and sent to Bobby them all. Whether we have an inroad, this is what you got to do to get on PBS, public broadcasting.
Right. So
then I went and got the one for Netflix, for Prime. Okay?
Wow. That's huge, man. you're speaking the language.
You
got to speak the language of that culture.
All this is just one aspect of shooting, and I'm dealing with it. So you see all these things. Someone set this up to something.
Okay, let me turn this heater off for a second.